back for another round. Yesterday, I ended up doing a few puppies, and by puppies I mean wolves, because I think they're very cute. I have a very soft spot for big dogs. So I did a few of those. Had a really bad time at the beginning. I was extremely stiff, but oh yeah, my horrible son who has every disease. So it went alright. Around like this, the third leg spread, I got a little more confident, and I really like the last ones. I do like this page a lot, and then I tried for some interaction, which went okay. And then I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough dogs for now. So I started out on a little kitty cat instead, and we're back to being really stiff. I hope this time as well it starts being easier, let's call it that, around the next few pages, that it doesn't take me forever, because I do love cats. I said I have a soft spot for dogs. I love cats even more. You have no idea. Best animal, hands down. I love cats. They're so fucking cute. So I'm gonna, even if I'm out here fighting for my life, I will work hard. I will figure out how to draw cats. Maybe. Hopefully. So let's see where this goes. I was so excited to get going. I immediately fucked up. If you've seen a clip of this, as you've seen in the clip, I tried recording those parts, and then half of it was out of frame, namely this guy, and then also, as you can see, I immediately smudged him. I used too much ink, or I didn't let it dry properly, and now he has a little mustache. Yay. So even though those first cats weren't perfect, they did give me a lot of confidence, which the next one will show was a little premature and, dare I say, unearned. Suffice to say, the next one did not go well. I mean, you can see how it's turning out. It's perhaps the worst any of them have gone in the whole project, honestly. And because it went so very much not well, I decided to give the same reference a second try and just keep going on the same page. At first I thought about, cutting it out, not having it in the video, hiding it in the back of the closet like a dirty little secret, but the more I look at it, the funnier this deformed little creature becomes to me. There's just everything wrong with it. And to be honest, I'm a big proponent of failure being a part of the process. a bigger part of mine than other people's, perhaps. And sometimes you just fuck up and it gives you the chance to learn from it and do better the second time around. Which is why I did, work from the same reference just like immediately after for a second time. Later on, I'll be using post-its to cover up mistakes and redraw the whole thing on top of them. But at this point, I wasn't doing that yet. And let's be real, also that cat is a little too big and a little too bad at every corner that it would have taken so many post-its to cover it. It would have been ridiculous. But yeah, after that whole ordeal, I needed a little breather, so I went to draw a very fluffy cat next to relax, and even though it went much better overall, I would say, I also had to go in with a little whiteout mouse to fix the face. I know, I was praising the whole, with ink you have to stand by your decisions and you can't erase, just last video, and I do stand by that, but also, I just want the sketchbook to look kind of nice when I'm done with it, so certain measures just had to be taken. Maybe in the future, when I'm better and have a stronger will, I won't have to do this kind of stuff, to go in and fix stuff, but at this point in time, it's just part of the process for me. I continued on with some more fluffy little kitties because they're easier to draw than very short hair cats, and also because I just really like them. They're very cute. And you may have noticed, but in some of the footage, I am holding the ink pot in my left hand while I'm drawing, which unfortunately ended up confusing the autofocus quite a bit, so there's a lot of footage I just had to cut because it was too nauseating to watch. It just kept focusing and unfocusing, very, very annoying. But yeah, I really like working that way, holding the ink pot in my hand, not a wild autofocus. It makes it easier to reach for me while I'm working, and it also means that I don't have to look off to the side when I need more ink on my brush, but I can keep all of my focus right on the page in front of me, and that also just makes everything go a lot smoother than if I have to keep looking over and then back and finding where I left off and all that. This is actually a habit I got into when working with watercolor first, and it's also one of the main reasons I prefer smaller and lighter watercolor palettes, but that is not at all relevant to this video. Another thing you might have noticed by now is that there are some random jumps in the footage at quite a few points, and I had to cut those parts out because unfortunately I have chronic putting my head in front of the camera so it obscures what I'm doing with the brush disease, and it is terminal. I fear at some point I got into the habit of shoving my face as close to the page as possible while drawing details, which, usually isn't a problem, but in this case it messes with recording and also hurts my back and neck, but that might also just be my generally terrible posture while I'm drawing, so, let's not point fingers quite yet. The fact that I like to get up very up close and personal with my paper is also one of the reasons there's a wild collection of camera angles in these videos. I am still in the process of figuring out which ones work best and which ones don't work at all. It's not easy finding a combination that looks good when you watch it back on video and also doesn't make the process deeply unpleasant for me because I have to look around the camera or sit weird. It's a process. I still haven't found the holy grail of setups, so you'll have to be patient while I'm just testing around. I am trying very hard, I promise. So, it's a new day. We're on a new day. We have, for the past days, done kitty cats. This is where I started with the cat journey. So, did some more cats, some kitties. And yeah, I don't know if I said this before. Like, obviously, drawing with ink is very fun and you can't erase. And I like that. It forces you to live with what you've done. But also, I maintain that it is a lot less fun if you can't fix anything at all. So I do give myself the right to use post-its and whiteout just to fix some really egregious mistakes if I'm like, no, I do not want this in my sketchbooks. So this one was terrible enough to deserve a post-it. This one's not good, but it's not the worst. So I'm leaving it to experience life as it is. And this, I think, was the last cat page. And then we did some bunnies. This guy also needed some fixing, if you can. I don't know how well the camera picks up the post-it bits, but yeah, that face was bad. But it's some bunnies. And yeah, this one also needed fixing desperately. So I was pretty happy with those, and I think I'm not really in the mood to do more bunnies, so I'm currently debating with myself what to do now. Because, I've already done dogs and cats, and obviously I can do whatever I want. This is for fun, of course, but I also want to, learn a little bit. Like, this is a great opportunity to get a better feel for all the animals I'm drawing. So I am debating whether I want to go over to birds, which I'm really, really bad at. Oh, what am I saying? I'm pretty not good at most of these. Like, my my wolves started out pretty bad, and so did my cats. The cat faces at the beginning, oof, not good. But now that I've done wolves and cats, I'm debating, and bunnies. That's true, and bunnies, who I also started the whole thing out with. So I'm debating whether I want to go and do more mammals. I could do foxes. I really like foxes, and I also really like bears. So I have a whole, I'm using Pinterest for reference. I have a whole pin board just for bears because I love them so much. They're so cute. And I've had a lot of fun drawing bears in the past, so I'm debating whether I'm just going to do a few bear pages. And obviously I don't have to keep doing bears for forever. I only did 7 wolf pages, so I'm going to do bears maybe until I'm tired of it, and then I might go over to birds. We'll see if I can make myself do that, because birds are really hard. I really struggle with them. But also, I'm debating, because I also kind of really want to do big cats. I've said this before somewhere, surely, but my favorite cats and my favorite animals overall are snow leopards, which I love immensely. They're so fucking cute. I have so many snow leopards on my cat pin board on Pinterest because, of course, I do. But I also want to do tigers. I think they're very cute. I also love panthers, but in ink, they're really, really annoying. Like I've tried before, but so much of what makes a panther comes from the fact that they're black. So drawing that in ink is just very difficult unless you want to go full black and then add white on top of it, which I don't want to. I've tried before and it looked pretty bad because again the black is a lot like the dark color is a lot what gives them the vibe, and that didn't work for me at all. So yeah, I'm gonna have a short moment to settle into whatever thing I'm gonna draw next, and then we're gonna fill a few pages of this. Okay, I have spent like a minute thinking about this, and I have decided I am going to go with bears, mostly because I opened Pinterest and immediately got a bear picture. So this is my beautiful bear pin board. It's got a lot of bears, every type of bear you can imagine. So we're gonna just gonna pick some bears and get drawing. I love that literally every single time. I did. I had this with the wolves, I had this with the cats, I had this with the bunnies. I went in with an unearned confidence of, oh, I've drawn this before at least once and it went okay. And then I tried the first one and I'm like, oh, it is hard. I forgot. I'm just stupid. I love this. It happens every time, and every time I'm like, no, next time you're gonna remember that the first few are gonna be hard and like they're not gonna be ideal. And then I'm still like, oh, it's gonna be fine. I can do this. How hard can it be? And then it's like, oh, very hard. Ah, fuck.
But yeah, there is a lot of footage on these bear pages that just had to go because, as I mentioned, either my head was making another appearance or because the autofocus was trying very, very hard to record all planes of reality simultaneously, which is surely a worthy goal in general, but it's not helpful while I'm fighting for my life against ink and the complexity of the face of the average bear. Speaking of bear faces, I went in to fix this guy's face with a post-it. But looking back, I don't even know why I did this. Like, his face was fine the first time. Apparently I was possessed by a post-it ghost or some such. We'll never know.
I'm sorry, this does look really silly, but I'm not making this up. He does sit like an Instagram model. Like, he is really giving. He's serving. And also, please ignore that it doesn't look anything like the picture. Don't worry about it. It's fine. The face really did turn out very humanoid. I'm gonna see if I can save this, so I'm gonna pull out a post-it note. I guess it's better, but this is not my favorite. It's not gonna be my favorite. I'm gonna be real. I have to say it. It has to be said.
For most of these, I ended up just listening to music or podcasts while working and didn't even try to hold a conversation at the same time because, frankly, I am not good at it. I am very bad at multitasking in this specific way. But at some point during my bear adventures, I had some thoughts on Pinterest, and let's just listen to me. And yes, I know Pinterest is not ideal for reference images. I know this. I'm using it because I'm lazy and I have used it forever, so.
The real problem with Pinterest is that sometimes, well, the real problem. There are many problems. This is actually a skill issue on my part. It's not actually a Pinterest problem. But it does keep recommending me different versions of the same animal pictures for my animal pin boards, which is annoying while drawing them because sometimes I'll be like, okay, is this just a similar picture, or did I actually add the same thing several times and now I'm drawing the exact same thing again? I mean, let's be real, not that I don't need the practice, but it still is like, why are you doing this to me, man? I'm like gaslighting myself here. But I will blame Pinterest. It's such a good scapegoat for this. They should change this so I don't have problems anymore. As obviously the most important Pinterest user. And like, I do understand, right? The machine learning goes by like, okay, similar like photo composition and similar tags and stuff and being pinned on ports together, but oh my god, there are some images, there's some tigers, some very specific tigers, and there's also some very specific bears that I've now seen so many versions of, and I'm like, I already saved this, I like this, but I already have it, stop recommending it to me, oh my god. And this will never stop until you make me the CEO of Pinterest. No, this will never stop just because how it's set up. And like, Pinterest is not ideal, obvious, for many reasons. And this bear is also not ideal. Oh my god, what am I doing? Okay, maybe we can save him. Okay, I'm gonna leave him to dry for a second, but one thing I really appreciate about ink on this paper specifically is that it dries really fast. There are, like, obviously I love watercolor, but it does take a while to dry. Well, ink is like there and like half a minute later it's dry. Whereas for watercolor, sometimes you have to wait several minutes, which obviously is not a deal breaker. It's not bad, but it is way less convenient. So I do love this. It's kind of incredible how fat bears get. They have such a huge ass. I mean, I know it depends on like what time the photos are taken, right? They have a significant amount of weight gain in the fall, which same. They're so chunky. I think I always underestimate how chunky they get, and then I fuck up because I'm so used to also drawing right now. Like I draw right now. I generally do draw a number of dogs and cats and like other animals, and bears are really like truly uniquely fat. And I know a lot of it is just the pelt, but oh my god, these boys. Why are they so big? I say this like appreciatively. Oh my god, they were so fat. I love that. It's so cute. Okay, I am fucking up this baby.
And with this last bear, we are done for this video. I know this was quite long, and I really appreciate if you stuck around till the end. I just really have so much footage and no idea what to do with it all, so, you know, it had to go in here. Originally, I thought I'd make just one, maybe two of these, but as it stands, there will be 1/3 one. Even if it gets super long, I'm not gonna make more than 3, which should be the next video, and yeah. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you around.